Hi y'all, welcome to my channel. My name is Marjorie Cook. Thanks so much for dropping by. If this is your first visit, welcome, welcome. If you've been here before, well, you just made my day. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you'll get a notice every time I upload a new episode. And it helps my channel grow too. If you have a second, we'd love to hear from you in the comments, whether it's a helpful hint about today's project or just a quick hello. Let's get started. Alright everybody, so today we're going to make this really cute little truck. It's kind of like a shadow box. I'm using an old frame that I've had forever. And here I'm just taping off the glass. The glass is actually hot glued in from an older project. And so I'm going to tape that off so that I can paint the frame. Clearly it is in need of a good fresh coat of paint. And natch, we're going to use our Waverly chalk paint and ink. You can use any color you want, whatever matches your decor. Mine will match with the flat black. And now that we've got that done, I'm going to show you a little trick that I like to do. I dry it with a hot gun, and it dries real quick. And so I just cover all the little corners, nooks, and crannies with the hot gun to dry it so that I can keep on crafting. The music you're listening to is a very dear friend of mine, Anna Allen, and she said I could use her CD as my background music. There'll be information in the description below how you can purchase the CD if you like it. Now we're taking the tape off. So gratifying when you get those nice crisp lines. And I'm going to take a razor blade, scrape off all the excess glue and things that was left over. Get that all cleaned up. And now I'm putting down just a little tiny scrap of scrapbooking paper that I had to kind of mimic a road for the truck to be driving on. I'm using the lines on my cutting pad to make sure I get that straight. And then we're just going to tack it down with a little bit of hot glue. And a scrap piece of burlap. I think I got this off of the giant roll that you can get at Walmart for like $5. But first, since there is going to be a little bit of a gap in there I can play with, I'm using these sticks that I ripped off of it was like a little candle display thing. I ripped all the wood off of it last Christmas, I think. So these are just scraps. You can use any kind of branches. Go out and pull them off a tree. So I'm making a little forest, so you know you go over the river and through the woods. Then I'm just lining up to see, okay, where are the branches going to be compared to the truck?
Broken and uncertain, what holds me in this fear? Overwhelmed with emptiness, my face stained with tears, enveloped by
my burlap. I'm using the stick to keep myself from burning my fingers. It's a high temp glue gun, so it gets pretty smoking hot.
Friends say they don't know me now. Clouds are rolling in. Anger, it envelops me. My world starts crashing in. Thunder rolling in my head. Darkness fills my eyes. I'm waiting for the sun to rise and clear these cloudy skies. And here comes the rain. And here comes the rain.
And I'm trying to get it pretty snug here.
Come chase away this pain. Sunshine, come warm my soul again. Laughter, please bring to me a smile and spare me from this madness for a while. Hope is what I cling to now, and peace is what I seek. The wind is blowing in my
This
soul.
tassel is one that I made for the tree last year, and it didn't make it onto the tree this year, and so I thought I would use it here. It makes a lot more sense when you realize that I'm hanging this particular frame next to another item that has some of these tassels on it, so it does coordinate. You can leave the tassel off if it doesn't really make sense for your decor. It's very specific to my particular vignette that I'm building. And it didn't make it onto film, but I did mix up my own paint color here. The only reds that I had were Merlot, which was a little bit too dark, so I took the Merlot Waverly chalk paint and mixed it with bright yellow from I believe it's Apple Barrel, and lightened it up to this sort of pale cranberry color to paint the truck. And I gave it one coat, and since the truck is metal, it was almost watercolorish, and I wanted it more opaque. So once I get the first coat on, I'm going to hit it with my little blow dryer device there. Takes about a couple of seconds really to dry it, because it was a very thin coat, and now I'm putting a second coat on to just darken it up. It's not going to get super dark though, because the color is not super dark. It's kind of an oxidized red, like an old Ford pickup that's been left out in the sun for years.
What makes it so easy for you to cross that line? The chaos of evaluating clutters up my mind, brings my fears to focus, change my point of view, undo my very being, so tangled up in you. Why?
And ouch, yeah, it's hot air that blows out of that. It's actually an embossing gun, and it melts the embossing powder. So yeah, when I touched it right then, it's a little hot piece of metal right there. So I'm just painting a little bit of red onto the bow on the package back there, and then now I'm going to go ahead and it's cool to the touch now. I can paint the tires black.
There's an emptiness inside of me I know does not belong. I should be filled with happiness. I'm free, God, what is wrong? Standing in my shadow, sad, I never did conceive the loss of what I feared so much. I needed to believe. Why did it have to come to this? How can this be? I never dreamed I'd feel like this. In you, I needed to believe.
And grabbed a little bit of green just for what I think might be a tree. I went ahead and called it a tree. I really couldn't tell what that cutout was. It might be more packages, but we're gonna call it a tree. So I painted that green, and I know it is the way wrong green. I can't believe I didn't have any of the darker forest green. And looking at this now while I'm doing the voiceover, you know, there was some black paint like right there that I could have mixed with that green and made a dark green. But did I think of that? No. I was too busy trying to figure out if it was a tree or not. Now, the reason I tested that glue right there is because the new glue stick that I have put in is actually a glitter glue stick. And I have a plan for the glitter glue stick, but it has not made its way down into the tip of the gun yet. So I'm putting a little bit more green, and I'm dabbing it on to give it a little bit of texture. And I'm drying it. And I've painted the hubcap area silver, and I've added a little bit of silver to underneath the package. And now I'm going to adhere it to the glass. And I've got my tassel ready to adhere. And I decided the tassel's missing a little something. So, and I apologize, this is going to be off frame just a little bit. I decide to take just a little bit of ribbon, and I frayed one side of that ribbon, and then I just wrap it around and hot glue it in place. Trim it up, and then attach it to the frame. And then in case I want to pull that off and put it on the tree again, I go ahead and I leave the hanger, and it just kind of falls down to the side and blends in. And now I'm attaching. I actually painted the back of that truck. The front side had a little sticker on it that's glued in place that said St. Nicholas's Gift Shop. And that's what I used to give it some lift, and glued it in using that sticker. So now I'm cutting the wired ribbon in half and pulling some strands free, evening up the frayed edge there. And I am going to create an expo. Got that idea from Savvy Crafts with Savannah. I will link her channel below. She is so creative. She's one of my favorites. And in one of her recent videos, she was talking about how she's just all about the expo. And I thought, well, you know, this particular frame would look great with an expo. So I pulled a card out of her workbook and made an expo. And then I grabbed a little tiny bit of green ribbon, and I mean, I just sliced it as thin as I could, just to put a little bit of green in there to match the tree. Once I have it the way I like it, I go ahead and grab my glue gun and we paste it all together. These are so easy to bake. I mean, I watched her make them on her channel and thought, oh my gosh, where have these been all my life? One little dab of hot glue, and then you just build up your X. And she'll do it, sometimes I've seen her do it where she'll put a little tiny ribbon on top of a thicker ribbon as if it's one ribbon. And so the X's aren't one on top of the other, they're staggered. Go check out her channel, you'll see what I'm talking about. One drop of glue, one drop of glue. I think I cut a new, yeah, I did. I cut a new green ribbon because the other one was a little crooked. And then something was missing in the middle, so I thought the red. Well, the reds didn't match. And so I ended up pulling just a little tiny stick from my little stick collection and cutting it to size so that it would tie into the forest behind the truck. And I just finished off just putting a little stick right in the middle. Now, if you like this, please don't forget to like, and if you haven't yet already, please subscribe. It really helps the channel to grow. There, I put the little hanger on with some jute ribbon. And then, okay, here's the glitter. The glitter has made it to the tip, and the little hubcaps are glitter glue. Little dollops of glitter glue. But please like and subscribe and share if you are of a mind to. And there it is, it's all finished. And here's a picture of it hanging on my wall. And yeah, I would love to paint this wall, but we're ripping this wall down, so I'm not gonna bother. But there she is, the cutest little truck in the world. Now, this music soundtrack, again, is a very good friend of mine, Anna Allen, and all of her info is in the box below if you'd like to order. Thanks so much for dropping by. We'll see you next time.